Alright, here's a good extension task, one that you'd always get a student to do. What you're going to try and do today is change the front cover of record albums or CD albums. Here's probably the most famous cover to change here, the Queen one. Okay, you could download that one. Certainly get make sure it's a good size. Okay, but today I'm just going to do the Michael Jackson one. So I've typed in on Google famous album covers. I've clicked on images. I find an album of Michael Jackson and I've downloaded to my computer. Now you get a photograph of yourself or a friend and you're going to try and put their face on the album cover. Easiest way to do it, open Photoshop, and I've opened Michael Jackson. I've clicked on the magnifying glass and I'm going to blow Michael up a little bit. Now remember, the quality of the photograph or the album cover is very important. The higher the quality, and we've done this in previous photographs, the easier it is to do. Now I'm just going to file, I'm going to open also another picture. I'm going to use hopefully one I found down here, this good looking bloke. So I'm going to use his face on my album cover of Michael Jackson. So you get two photographs open, one here and one here. That's just normal. Click on the selection tool. It doesn't really matter which selection tool you use, the rectangle or the elliptical. I just use the rectangular because I'm used to it. It's got a fairly rectangular head. I choose just the face. I could edit copy. That might be the easiest way to do today. I go to the original Michael Jackson poster, edit paste. Now it's fairly big, so how to shrink it down, there's lots of options, but I always just go edit, free transform, and when the little corners highlight, you just keep shrinking down, pulling back, shrinking down, pulling back. There's lots of ways to do this, but just an easy way. You want to control it. Alright, so here you got his head. Now it's hard to see. Michael's looking one way and he's looking another. So what you could do is grab the corner here, swap it over, so now they're almost looking in the same direction. Move it up to almost where he is. Now, you want to make sure the two heads are the same size. It's not going to be perfect because someone's got different line jaw structure than you. So what you do is you put one over the other, you go up to layer 1 where the photograph you're using, and you just turn down the opacity a little bit. Okay, so you can see through the photograph. Now it's hard sometimes just to get it right. You've got to try and see where this guy's head matches the other guy's head. Move it back a little bit, and I'm going to try and just guess almost where they are. You don't have to be perfect because sometimes you can hide it. I would say I'm pretty much there. Turn back up the opacity so you can see the original photograph, and the best you can is to use a rubber. Okay, well, click on rubber, it'll say apply because you've got to get rid of the little check boxes. Another way would be to just to tick that and it'll apply. There you go. Remember, so you've got one layer lying on top of the other. Now what I'm going to do here just for a moment is I'm just going to stop the film because I'm just going to use the rubber to spend a lot of time rubbing out the outline of the head. So here's the rubber here. Comes on the screen. I'm just right hand click, it's a little bit big. Let's turn it down so I can see it. There it is. Maybe a bit smaller. It looks alright to me. And I'm just going to rub around the head. Alright, so I might turn it back on a minute. This is the only tool I'm using at the moment. Alright, so I'm back on again. Just to show you, that's all I did. I did blow it up, okay, so I'm getting closer. I used the magnifying glass, so I'm getting close. And all I used was just the rubber. I just rubbed out enough around where Michael was, okay, around the ears. I took it off. I noticed I got a little bit of his chin still here. I could fix it up later. But if I just now click on the magnifying glass and fit the screen so it goes back, it's pretty good. It looks like Mr. Davison is now Michael Jackson on the cover. Now here I would say I'm going to leave it like that. Now these two layers need to be flattened. So again, what you do is layer, you flatten the image, and you would use now, if you think it's perfect, save it and away you go. but I'm actually going to use the clone tool and try and put a bit of roughness back on Michael's chin there. I'll choose the tool to get it down a little bit small, and the clone tool, remember, is hold the Alt button down on where you want to copy, click the mouse, let go of the Alt button, and just keep going. This is in a previous tutorial I've done this. Okay, you're using the clone tool to try and copy from one section to another. Okay, it's not too bad. Remember, it's only 42%. If I did a little bit better, it would be right. So there you go. You got Michael Jackson album cover, one layer, file, save as, give it a JPEG name, cover, and cover and save. That's it. Fairly small, isn't it? So my original picture was pretty poor, but there you go, Michael Jackson, perfect. Have a go yourself, but you don't use Michael Jackson, use something else and use a few people and really show that you can do it. Okay, there are other things I would do to this, but pretty much that's pretty good for the first go.